Good morning, I'm Bailey Martin alongside meteorologist Mary Ellen Pan with a check on that storm team forecast with the snow here, Mary Ellen.
Again,
right?
Yes, yeah, it's coming down in most locations. If we take a look through our effort of Skycam, you can see it looks pretty nice there with the lights there lit up. It looks like a winter wonderland, but it is blanketing the roadways, the sidewalks, the rooftops, so it is still coming down. However, as we take a look at Storm Team Live Radar Network and Live Local 8, you can see where we're getting a little break from the steady snow across Franklin County, portions of western Adams County, Cumberland County, even Mifflin County. Most of it is falling to the south and east of Harrisburg. Now, as I zoom out, there's an area of low pressure that's strengthening off the Carolina coast, North Carolina and Virginia coast, I should say, and there's a lot of moisture. So the question is, how far does that moisture make its way into the area? How far west? I think right now the best chance for seeing additional snow will be in our eastern counties, and that lines up with the National Weather Service winter weather advisory that has been issued, is in effect until 3 o'clock this afternoon for Lebanon, York, and Lancaster, and that's where you'll find higher accumulations. The other thing we're dealing with is low visibility. You can see it's down to 1.75 miles in Harrisburg, 1.5 miles in Carlisle and in York, down to 3/4 mile in Lancaster. So definitely use caution, allow for some extra travel time. We're hovering a little below freezing in most locations, 30 in Carlisle, Harrisburg, Lebanon, and Lancaster. And your next 12-hour forecast shows snow showers will continue for most locations until about 10, 11 o'clock. In our eastern areas, though, could continue or linger into the early afternoon. Then we'll see the clouds hanging around and slowly breaking up towards the evening. Temperatures will only move a few degrees today. We'll see highs right around 32, 33 degrees. So we'll talk about how much snow we could get and the Arctic air that is going to head our way coming up in my full forecast.
All right, thanks, Mary Ellen. And speaking of that snow, we want to show you some of the roads around the Susquehanna Valley this morning. You're looking right now at the South Bridge in Harrisburg. You can see cars moving kind of slowly there. Snow is covering the road there. Here's I-81 and 78 in Lebanon County. Looking a little bit better there, although you can definitely tell that snow has fallen. That looks like those roads have been cleared, but of course, we want everyone to be careful out there. In Lancaster County, around the 222 and Route 30 interchange, snow covering those roads over there. Traffic moving pretty slowly through there, as we just saw. There's also a disabled truck on 581 in Cumberland County. This is eastbound at exit 5 for US 15. Seems like people are getting around there just fine. The slick conditions yesterday meant trouble on the roads. Take a look at this. A tractor trailer overturned on Route 283. That crash shut down the highway to one lane and backed up traffic. And in Berks County, state police are investigating a 12-vehicle crash. Troopers say there were 4 commercial vehicles and 8 passengers vehicles involved. It happened just before 8 yesterday morning. State police say the crash closed a portion of I-78 in Greenwich Township in both directions, but it is back open now. And with more snow expected today, we turn to PennDOT to learn what you should do if you spot a crash or are involved in one yourself because of those slick conditions. News 8's Taylor Hess has what you need to know.
PennDOT says if you come across a crash, it's important to stay focused on the road and avoid slowing down to look.
Because if somebody in front of you stops, you may hit that person, and that's when we end up with secondary crashes.
But if you find a safe and non-icy place to pull over, help out and call 911.
Well, if you have the opportunity to pull over safely and see if you can render any assistance, that'd be great. Make sure you call 911. Don't just assume that somebody else has already called 911. Especially if there's nobody else there.
When you call 911, make sure to stay calm and give a clear description of your location, such as a mile marker and a nearby exit. But if you're the one involved in a crash, here's what you need to know.
The best thing you can do is stay inside your vehicle with your seatbelt on. If you can put your four-way flashers on, put the four-way flashers on, call 911, but stay in your vehicle if you can. If you're the only one in your vehicle, move over to the passenger side.
That was Taylor Hess reporting. PennDOT says if you do have to get out of your vehicle, make sure your back is far away from the road as possible and see if there's a guide rail you can step behind. We're also following those cold temperatures ahead coming up this week. Lebanon County's Coalition to End Homelessness issued a code blue alert. That starts tomorrow afternoon and ends Thursday morning at 10. The alert allows more people to find shelter during the bitter cold. And as we continue to track the snow, you can be the first to know when it's wrapping up. Download the WGAL app and turn on push alerts for the latest from the storm team. You can also use the interactive radar on the app and online at WGAL.com. President Donald Trump says he'll hike tariffs on European allies starting next month if they continue to oppose his bid to purchase Greenland. Washington correspondent Jackie DeFusco joins us live from our Washington bureau. And Jackie, this makes a significant escalation in the president's latest effort.
Bailey, that's right. This weekend, we saw President Trump turning up the economic pressure in his bid to try to acquire Greenland. And he still has not ruled out potentially using military force, despite warnings that that could undermine the NATO defense alliance. From Greenland's capital to Copenhagen. Hundreds took to the streets on Saturday to send a message to President Donald Trump.
So Donald, we don't want to be Americans. We are Greenlanders.
So far undeterred, President Trump said in a social media post Saturday that 8 European nations will face a 10% tariff on any goods sent to the U.S. starting on February 1st, further increasing to 25% in June and payable until, quote, a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. The president reiterating his longstanding view that acquiring the strategically located, mineral-rich territory of Denmark is critical for national security.
If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it.
The president of the European Commission writing Saturday, quote, tariffs would undermine transatlantic relations and risk a dangerous downward spiral, adding Europe would remain committed to upholding its sovereignty. This as troops from several European countries have arrived in Greenland in recent days for defense training. And as President Trump's calls to take over Greenland, potentially through military force, face bipartisan backlash on Capitol Hill.
It would probably be the end of his presidency. Most Republicans know this is immoral and wrong, and we're going to stand up against it.
And this weekend, a bipartisan delegation traveled to Denmark in an effort to reassure NATO allies. Those lawmakers afterwards calling on President Trump to stop his threats and to instead work within existing treaties to bolster security in the Arctic. Bailey.
Yeah, and Jackie, you mentioned that several European countries sent troops to Greenland for defense training. Are they trying to send a message to the Trump administration?
Well, Bailey, many definitely view this as an effort to show European unity, to signal that Europe can beef up security in the Arctic region without a U.S. takeover of Greenland. One Danish general who spoke to the Associated Press over the weekend did insist that their goal is not to send a message to the Trump administration. It said that American forces have also been invited to participate in the operation in the coming days. That general also said that he does not expect the U.S. military to invade Greenland, although he did also say that Danish forces would be obligated to respond and to fight back if ultimately the president decides to do so. The White House said earlier in the week that these troop movements have not had any impact at this point on President Trump's decision-making or his push to acquire Greenland. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jackie. This week, PennDOT says crews are set to work on a stretch of Route 283 in Dauphin County. They'll be doing stormwater facilities repairs on the stretch of road you see right there on your screen. The work will happen all week during daylight hours in the center median. The inside shoulders will be closed while those crews work. And a Lancaster County road will shut down for several months for bridge work. East Lampeter Township says Willow Road will close between Greenfield and Forey roads. The closure is set to begin tomorrow and remain in place for about 3 months. State police are investigating after they say photoshopped images of 2 teachers in the West Perry School District were sent to multiple students. Troopers were alerted to a cyber harassment report in Spring Township on December 9th. We're still working to find out the nature of those images. The West Perry School District says it cannot comment because of both federal and state privacy laws. Well, the 2026 Pennsylvania Farm Show has wrapped up. Pennsylvania U.S. Senator Dave McCormick made a stop at the farm show for its final day yesterday. He took part in a roundtable with farmers and agriculture leaders and also toured the complex.
You always see how important agriculture is to Pennsylvania. This is an opportunity to celebrate ag in Pennsylvania. It's an opportunity to understand the issues. It's an opportunity to reinforce and thank people for their leadership.
State Agriculture Secretary Russell Redding spent a lot of time this week at the farm show. News 8 Today anchors Matt Barcaro and Caitlin Smith spoke with the Ag Secretary, who says he always leaves the farm show feeling optimistic about the state of agriculture in Pennsylvania.
We are challenged every day, by weather and markets and people and all of that stuff. But, it all comes together. We have this long view in this business. They persevere through it. And we get a chance to sort of see that resilience and the grit that really is the heart of this industry.
Redding says events at the farm show complex generate $300 million each year. He says $80 million comes from Farm Show Week alone. Redding says this year, 38 counties were represented at the show, and an estimated 500,000 people visited the event. And News 8's Ryan Argenti and McKenna Alexander took part in the milkshake competition yesterday. The theme was Stars, Stripes, and Shakes in honor of America's 250th anniversary, and so they created an apple pie shake. News 8 couldn't quite get the win, but McKenna and Ryan said they had a lot of fun. And ahead of the nation's birthday, America 250 PA launched its kickoff tour with an event in Lancaster. The event recognized Lancaster County's unique history and the role of Pennsylvania in the 250th celebration for the country.
We are ready to showcase this Commonwealth, these communities, to the rest of the nation and the world as the world descends here, for 2026.
Kickoff events are set for all 67 counties. Yesterday, there were also events in Lebanon, Northampton, Lehigh, and Berks counties.